Ahoy! This is Harry Hansen reminding you to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube by going to youtube.com at the Lager Room 5111 and clicking subscribe. Or just go to youtube.com and search for the Lager Room. Either way, it's as easy as falling off a log. Thanks a bundle.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me. As always, is Mr. Radio Pete and Mr. Harry Lugnutz. Say hello, gents.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, gents.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How are you two doing this evening?
Doing all right.
All right.
Doing all right. Doing better than the middle of the Yankees relief pitching.
Yeah, or the beginning of the starting Mets pitching.
Telling you, we just need to combine the teams, and we might be Toronto Blue Jays.
We'd have a winner. Let me ask you guys this: do you find yourselves looking more at football news now because the baseball is a little bit dismal, or are you still hanging on to checking out the deep dive into the baseball world?
I you know what? Since the first week is on football for me anyway, has been dismal. Yeah, kind of a little of both, but not a deep dive in either. Just kind of sitting back and waiting for the next game with baseball and the next game, the next Sunday with football, and see where we go from there.
Well, don't forget there's always the WNBA.
I won't get into football until Halloween.
December.
Yeah. I know every Anthony Volpe error. My back gets thrown out every time Devin Williams comes in the game. No, I am unfortunately deeply embedded with my stupid New York Yankees, who surprisingly have the third best record in baseball since the All-Star break. But let's talk about football.
Yeah, let's talk about football.
Do we have to?
Well,
we should.
I'm wearing what I wore 2 weeks ago on the show, only because that I think it might have been too early to wear it for any, potential.
Is that a Daniel Jones
Jersey.
Indiana Colts jersey?
Jersey luck, if you will, or whatever. But
is that a Tarkenton?
No, it's not a Daniel Jones. We're talking about
that. Is that a Fran Tarkenton jersey?
Yes, It's not Eli Manning. It's Fran Tarkenton.
No, okay.
They're ruining the jerseys with all that extra corporate crap all over it.
Yeah, well, it's becoming more and more like soccer. All right, before we go any further, hang on.
This is the Giants logo. This is the Captain's logo. This is the Super Bowl logo, and these are numbers.
I know, but I don't like it.
How many Super Bowls was Tarkenton in?
What's under your neck? Under your chin there?
It says NFL.
Yeah, I don't like any of it.
All right, let's run our clip and get to the whatever games we're going to talk about. All right, that's for Dave Scardino and all of us.
He doesn't watch anymore.
Cowboys fans out there.
He does.
No.
If he doesn't catch it live, he rewatches, so he'll like that. But
little Emmett Smith for you there.
Little Emmett for you. There you go. All right, that's for you Cowboys fans that need it. And unfortunately, I have a feeling after Sunday you're not going to need it, but we shall see.
Listen, as a Cowboys fan, I will say, not totally displeased with week one. Have to be relatively happy there.
Strange game. Not sure if the Not sure if the weather really shut the Eagles down or if the Cowboys shut the Eagles down. But
Yeah.
I think it was definitely what was it, an hour and change off?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because both teams did nothing after, right, 3 points in the second half.
The game was over after that weather time, delay.
But now the Giants are gonna, or the Cowboys are gonna have their what we calling the Jets last week? They're the panacea team. Like no matter how bad you are, you go play the Jets. Or the Giants, and your problems are solved. You are healed at least for for a week. So
they used to call those games trap games, meaning that the better team would lose, but not so much anymore. Especially when it comes to the Jets or the Giants.
Well, that was kind of week one. The better teams who maybe didn't play well held on to games that maybe they would have lost last year, for the most part. There's been a few exceptions to that. But
I got it. I'll just jump in and say just quick Giants chatter, and then we can move on to other stuff. And there's plenty of other games to talk about. But as far as the Giants go, when are they going to fix this fucking offensive line?
Not this year.
How long do they need? How long do these fucking morons need to pick good players, draft good players? I don't give a shit if they're in the 5th round. You can pick good talent.
Let me ask.
What's going on?
But hold on. You and I have agreed that we agreed with a lot of their selections that they made on the offensive line. We've agreed they have a couple good offensive linemen. I think one was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. Is it the talent, or is it the overall sort of culture of the New York Giants? What is it? Because you can't miss that much with individual picks over and over and over again.
I don't know. Have you looked at
I'll give you an example.
Have you looked at the Jets' history of head coaches and quarterbacks and running backs?
Well, that's sort of my take on this, is that unless you have a culture which really prioritizes that and really knows how to coach that, and gets the right mental makeup in there, I'm not. There's 6 teams in the NFL with a really great offensive line, good or great offensive line. The rest of them struggle. Even Penny Sewell struggled the other day against Micah Parsons, which is believable. Okay, that's fine. So, and he's probably the best draft pick for an offensive lineman in the last 10 years. So, yes, obviously they're doing something wrong, but what is the problem? And the problem, if it's that often that it's the front office, and it's also this coaching staff. Look, I know you're kind of a Dable guy. I'm not. And I don't think throwing Jackson Dart in there to the Wolves is going to be the answer. I don't think that solves anything. It's going to be exciting. He's going to be able to run around.
I don't want Dart in there. I don't want Dart in there.
I know that.
If they want to switch it up, put Jameis in there.
But let me tell you something. There's one move that told me everything about Dable, and it tells me everything about why the organization and him are not on the same page. When he moved Jackson Dart up to number 2, okay, it undermined everything they did in signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. It undermined it all because he realizes that Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson are not going to leave him very good. And I'm not sure Jackson Dart is either, but whenever they throw somebody new in there and it's unpredictable, at least chaos ensues, and they got a better chance at least avoiding the downfalls of what we've seen in the pocket.
He does realize that this is not. I just want to say really quick, he does realize that if he has Russell Wilson as the starting QB, the first string QB, and then he has Jameis Winston as number 2 and Jackson Dart as number 3, if at some point during the game he wants to put Dart in over Winston, over Winston in to replace Wilson. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Is it his call, John? Is it his call? Or are we looking at Aaron Boone number 2 here?
Well, let me ask you guys this question.
I don't know
real quick.
It's his call.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that this was to your point, Harry, was this the plan all along and they just didn't want to say it from the start? We want Jackson. Okay, we put him in at number 3, and then we're going to move him up to number 2 right before the season, where there's a lot of talk about a lot of stuff, and it'll be a story. It'll be more of a story in New York, maybe, but it wasn't a big, huge deal. So, in other words, do you think the brain trust says, yeah, we're going to play like we're going to wait till next year, or maybe if we have no other choice, but their plan all along was to get him in there this year. So you don't think they're that smart?
It's called
or
flexibility and cover my ass. I think here's what happened is that they were dumb enough to sign Russell Wilson. They got excited when no one else went after Russell Wilson, and they won that bidding war. And that bumped their plan back, because I think the plan really was to throw Winston in there for 5-6 games, see how he does, and then go to the rookie, whoever they were going to draft. And I don't think they have a plan.
But if they do that, they have to think that Wilson is going to at least be a viable option, right? Or do they just go, it's a 1-year deal, so who cares if he can't play? If we bring him to camp and he's terrible.
Of course they thought he was a viable option. They thought that Daniel Jones was a viable option. They thought that Fill in the blank was a viable option. They thought that Drew Luck was a viable option. They don't know how to choose talent. By the way, that fan is very loud, whatever that is that you keep turning on and off.
He turns his mic on and off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when he turns it off, you don't hear the fan.
It sounds like a fan. Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of my take on it. Look, I summed it up to you guys in a text. The Giants are the same team as last year. They might have a little bit more speed on defense. They got some young, promising talent, but they're the same team. Oh, and by the way, they've got a young, arrogant receiver who's already acting like a jerk off on the sidelines and is disgruntled. Gee, does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
It's the same lather, rinse, repeat. It's the New York Giants. They're a bad organization.
Yeah,
I don't care. You could talk about Eli and Tom Coughlin. And look, for the history of the Giants since the 60s, they have had long stretches of mediocrity or downright bad play mixed in with a few chunks of really good play. And that was mostly under Parcells. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Coughlin years were a mixed bag. He had maybe 3 or 4 years that he strung together where they were really good. Same, Parcells, kind of the same thing, maybe a little longer. But for the most of the last 60 years, they have been an organization that has had very high highs and very low lows. And they have not been the Pittsburgh Steelers. No. They have not been, the Dallas Cowboys. They have not been a team that is consistently, is going to make the playoff. There's no
consistency. There has never been any consistency. There's consistency, flashes of consistency, like you said, to your point, with Parcells and with Coughlin. That was it.
And there was
a couple of good years with Fossil. Maybe one good year with one or two other. No,
there's exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, right. But one good year is not consistent.
It's not consistent. It's not consistent.
What were the two consistent digs with Parcells and Coughlin? I'll tell you, just to save on time. Their players fucking hated him at times. They were ball busting old school taskmasters who could not give a shit who the quarterback was, especially with Parcells, and who put everything on defense, special teams, and not making mental mistakes. And by the way, those two teams, if you look at the history of Pro Bowl offensive linemen on the New York Giants, they're all under Parcells and Coughlin.
All under Parcells and Coughlin.
All under Parcells.
And I've said this. Look, how many times do I have to say it? And I don't understand why the three of us on this show, and other people too, it's not just the three of us by any means, right? Understand that football is one in the trenches. Yeah. It always has been. I don't give a flying fuck how many points you score in the air. It always will be. It's one in the fucking trench, because you're not going to throw a ball downfield 75 times a game and score 50 points if you don't have protection. It's one in the trenches.
Unless you're the Bengals after the first 6 weeks of the season.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, then you can do it. All right. Well, let's get off.
Let's get off the Giants. We have another team in New York.
Well, let me just ask you quickly, Giants defense. Give me a short assessment here. I feel like, I'll give you mine first. I feel like, okay, they weren't particularly great, but I think they have promise. I think obviously they're going to be the better side of the ball for the Giants this year, and may be able to help the offense, by keeping the points relatively low, but still not a happy looking season for the Giants.
I'll give them a B minus.
B minus, okay.
I'll give them maybe a C plus B minus, and I'll tell you why. The run defense. Where the hell is the run defense?
That's true.
No run defense.
Let's break it down.
There's no run defense.
No, you're right.
None.
B minus, a B for the passing defense and the pass rush.
Right.
Okay. D
for the run defense.
And
a D for the secondary too.
Right. Again, getting back to my earlier point, a lot of mental mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mental mistakes.
By the way, hi Vanessa. Thanks for tuning in and watching.
Not great tackling. Anyway,
so yeah, B for the pass rush, D for the run defense, D for the secondary.
Yeah, there you go. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right. Let's talk Jets. Promising. As a Jet fan, I'm happy. I've said throw out everything that Justin Fields did in Chicago.
By the way,
that was just a. Oh, what do you got there?
New York
Giants class. Very nice.
Here's the thing on Justin Fields.
Hang on.
Right.
Throw all that out, right? He had nobody on offense around him.
Right.
They gave away. They got rid of defensive players. A couple of guys by the name of Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith. So they put nothing on defense. 2 head coaches and 2 offensive coordinators in 3 years. That's like Jets territory. And who are the coaches? Nagy and Eberflus, 2 of the guys, worst guys ever to stalk the sideline.
They sound like hockey goalies from the 70s.
Yeah. So how could you expect anything out of Justin Fields?
They sound like a yacht rock band from the 70s.
That's true.
Nagy and Eberflus.
Now appearing at the Crab Shack.
And of course, Michael McDonald did that one song.
Nagy and Eberflus. Yikes. So you look at what Justin Fields did in Pittsburgh, where he got the shaft from Russell Wilson, or by them having Russell Wilson. And I'll say, okay, promising first game, looked good. I have hope for the Jets. Are they going to be 500 team? Probably not.
No,
but I think they'll be at least exciting to watch.
They'll win 5, 6 games, 6, maybe 7. Here's the thing with Fields is that he's not that great. He's good. He's kind of, but he knows how to. I think he's in a position where he can win now because he has parts that are complementary and make up for his deficiencies. You can't expect him to be Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, or a traditional. You can't expect him to be Lamar Jackson. There's only one of those in the world, but he can be a really great version of what he does, which there's a couple quarterbacks like him. And I think that this Jets team needs to tailor themselves after the Eagles. And I think they kind of have some of the same similarities in that I like their speed, I like their running game, I like their physicality, and I like the fact that they're diverse offensively and they capitalize on special teams. That's what I'll say about the Jets.
Now, one other thing quickly, there are still some Jets-esque things that went on in that game,
without a doubt.
I was not happy about.
Like the end of the game.
The end of the game and the
beginning of the game and the middle of the game.
Missing the extra point and then getting a reprieve and then going for 2. Kick the ball.
The elephant in the room with the Brontosaurus riding it was that you let Aaron Rodgers come back into your house, the Giants' house, and throw for 4 touchdowns. And then, by the way, we're going to win the game on a 60-yard field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more Jets than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you may as well fly a flag of Mike Greenberg and Joe Namath back and forth. And there's nothing more Jets than that.
But there were periods of time where they didn't remind you that they are the Jets.
No.
And I was hoping
they look like the Minnesota Vikings.
They look like a better team. Yeah. And I'm hoping that Aaron Glenn will be enough of an old school guy that he won't continue to make that mistake. I was very upset with that 2-point, going for that 2-point because he didn't make it. But
we'll see.
It's
very early.
Week 1, promising.
Week 1 is schizophrenic mess.
Yeah.
Somewhat. All right.
What else do you want to talk about?
Some other games. Daniel Jones. Now I got to ask.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me, before you get to that, let me ask you this, because it pertains to that. What was more surprising an outcome? Would you say it was the Colts over the Dolphins, or was it the Chargers over the Chiefs?
Chargers over the Chiefs.
Slightly. I wasn't really surprised by either.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are bad. This just in.
Dolphins are bad, but Dolphins are bad. So that was believable. But a Giants player, a skill player, if you will, not a Giants player leaving the Giants and having success immediately somewhere else is not new. It's a tale as old as time.
You're talking about the Chargers.
No, I'm talking about obviously Daniel Jones. Look, no, I don't expect him to keep this.
No.
I don't expect the Colts to be in the AFC Championship game by any means. But for him to do what he did with a much improved, better offensive line in front of him is not unbelievable.
No.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is not a great quarterback, but he does have some skills. He does have some skills. He knows how to quarterback, and if he has time, he can connect on a pass. He can run. He can do what he did.
All
right. So, and I'm not saying that I want him back. I want Jackson Dart every day of the week and twice on Sunday over Daniel Jones. But my point being, it's not unbelievable what he did on Sunday against the Dolphins.
No, kind of expected. I mean, I think both of those were kind of like, you could sort of feel it. Look, Kansas City could bounce back and score 50 points this week. I think my gut.
They will next week. They will in week 3.
Right. I think my gut is right on Kansas City. I think they're going to be. Look, they won 15 games last year. They could have won 11. Yeah. Still good.
They could have won 9.
But were they a 15-win team?
No, they weren't.
No,
they were not.
So I think that they're beatable. I think that AFC West is going to be really, really interesting. And I will say this, and I'm happy for him. I'm glad that Herbert, is that how you say his name? I always want to say Bear.
Herbert. Yeah, it's not Herbert.
Yeah.
It's Herbert.
Yeah. Herbert finally showed up and completed a game. And if you're going to be mentioned in top 5, 6 quarterbacks in the league, that's what you got to do. It was his coming out party. We'll see if they could do it again. Watch out for both those teams this week, because that's a hell of a long commute back to wherever that is that they're going to be playing. Anyway, as Pete toggles around on screen.
Should I be seeing you toggling the stuff on the screen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, what else?
Actually showing up.
What else? I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep things going. I got a tight out here today.
He's got a tight one today.
I do.
He's normally pretty loose. But today
it's my back that's tight.
Monday night game. It's going to be the AFC Championship game preview and blah blah blah. And the Ravens look so good, and then I turned the game off and went to sleep because I had an early morning, and then I woke up the next day and they lost. So is it more about the Bills' offense being good, or is it more about the Ravens' defense?
Bills' offense.
Here's my summary of the NFL Week 1, and it's all about that game. The Bills and Ravens are head and shoulders above every other team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Are they though? And I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. But if they were, the score wouldn't have been 49-75. The score would have been 7-3.
I knew you were going to say that. And no, it wouldn't be. Not in today's day and age, and not with the talent that those two teams have on offense. Holding the Bills to 41 points is almost a victory. Now I get you. You want it to, but what the offense has struggled for the most part. Week 1, we saw a lot of unders. We saw a lot of low scoring games. We saw people not be able to get the ball in the end zone.
We saw somebody have 13 tries and come away with 6 points.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the fact that both those teams lit it up, yes, I think they both have deficiencies on defense. Here's what I do think. I think that the Bills and the Ravens one of them is going to finally break through, and I think this year that one of those two teams is going to be in the Super Bowl. And I know it's only week 1, but here's why I say it. Those guys know who they are. They know who their personnel is. They know what their strengths are, and they know what their weaknesses are. There is no learning curve with either of those teams. They're already firing on 8 cylinders, and it's only going to get better for each of them. Now, I think they'll both tighten up the defense. I think the Ravens maybe more so than the Bills. The Bills are a team, though, but that proved to me is that they're in the Ravens' head, I think, a little bit. And maybe not just the Bills, just in big games, the Ravens seem to find a way to lose. Look, how often is Derrick Henry going to fumble the ball as part of a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter? They were at home, right? Or no, it was in Buffalo.
No,
it was
in
Buffalo. So not often, but in big games, the Ravens find a way. There's something hanging over them, and I think it's going to be harder for them to get over that hump. Both teams struggle in getting to the big game. Both teams struggle. They have great seasons. They have the 2 MVPs in the league most of the time, every year, if Mahomes doesn't undeservedly get it from them recently. Those guys are just phenomenal in very different ways, and a lot of ways that are very similar as well. You look at the Ravens on paper, and no one should come close. They're the Dodgers without the injuries, but they're not. They can't close the door. Now, is Kansas City vulnerable this year? And is there anybody else that is at the level of, is San Diego at the level of Buffalo and Baltimore? I don't think so.
No.
Now, they could be, but I don't think they are. And I was woefully wrong about the Bengals. They're not. For whatever reason, the Bengals can't play football in September. Yeah. But look, those 2 teams are really good. And I agree with you 100%, John. That if that game was 24-23, then yeah, okay, you it's more balanced. But that's just what it is. That's just what it is when those 2 teams play. And I think it's going to be that way no matter who they play. They'll have games where they both of those teams have really good defensive performances, but they're both of their ability to put points on the board in various ways that make them very dangerous.
You're not wrong. Those 2
well
teams,
said.
You're not wrong.
Well said.
I just think looking at the execution of those 2 teams against the fact that they were playing each other. Right now, there's 2 leagues. There's the Bills and Ravens and the rest of the NFL. There's 2 leagues.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the Ravens or Bills can't fall asleep week 2 and blow one.
And they will.
And they've done it before.
And they will.
But when it matters, under the big spotlight of the first Monday night game, they performed.
Let me ask you a question.
Sunday
right
night. Sunday.
Now, I know we did our picks 2 weeks ago, but let me ask you a question. Based on week 1.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm speaking to Harry. Pete, you can weigh in afterwards. I'm speaking to Harry first. What would shock you more? And of course, neither of these have to be shocking by any means, but what would shock you more, to whatever level you think? The Bills but the Bills or the Ravens making the Super Bowl, or Kansas City going back again? What would shock you more this year? Just those. Bills or Ravens. That's one choice. Would shock you more?
Neither would shock me. But
no, I know. Well, I get that.
The Bills or Ravens would shock me a little bit more because they have not been able to do it. It doesn't make sense.
Who's the better team on paper and based on last week's games?
And we write off. We've been writing off. I've been trying to write off Kansas City for 3 years, and it just doesn't work.
well,
a valiant effort for sure.
Yes, but
Tay and Trav are getting married now, so they have to win a game.
Yeah, there was not as much of that or opportunity for that in this game. I don't think the league could control the score, but
because they were in Brazil, but
it doesn't cross borders. Buffalo and Baltimore both have something to prove.
Mesmerized by the cursor going across,
and it would be This is.
I don't know why that's happening.
And it's like inching, like
just like the Rich Eisen show. It would be more shocking to see Kansas City not make it.
Yeah, Agreed. 100%.
I mean,
To
to see Baltimore make it, is what I meant. Baltimore.
Well, yeah, either or.
Yeah,
either or. Right. Yeah.
So, said the same thing. I just wanted to clarify.
The other way. No, I get it, but it's ridiculous. It would not shock me for all of us to be bored again in February next year and watch another Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl.
Do we want to? I don't know why I want to do this, but do we want to move on to our picks?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's best time for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any other games that.
Yeah, I mean, look. There was a few games, a few standouts. Like, look, I don't. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was the fine came down. Was it $55,000 for was it Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott?
Oh yeah, who maybe spat on him?
I didn't see any of that. Didn't Prescott spit on him first?
I saw the clip a couple times, and I'm wondering if Dak maybe was. Yeah, sometimes when you shout, you release a little bit of spittle, and I'm thinking maybe that might have happened. But I don't know. I didn't. No, it was definitely intentional. You think?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you looked at the video afterwards that they showed later on in the game, Dak Prescott spit in his direction first, not on him. In his direction.
Oh, okay.
Dak Prescott was definitely baiting him, but what he should have done, he should have been a big boy, and he should have taken the bait, and he should have said, "Okay, fucker, wait till the game starts playing."
Yeah, and $55,000 is nothing to these guys. I don't really give a fuck.
No, it's not.
Yeah, stop spitting, play the game. Yeah, Eagles and
anyway.
No more Eagles and Cowboys.
Right. How about it?
Just
one
more. Just one more.
One more Eagles and Cowboys.
Yeah. For this year.
Okay.
All right.
Let's play each other again. One more game. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I mean. One more game. All right. Let's do some picks.
Place
your bets, please. Place your bets, please. Place your bets, please.
All right. Time for some football picks. And
all bets in. This has been called several things. It was first beaten by the coin.
Well, it's technically, I guess it still is beaten by the coin.
It still is beaten by the coin. It's always never not been beaten by the coin's always been involved.
Whatever it is, I seem to be the Cincinnati Bengals of this game.
You've won.
I know, but I get off to such a shitty start every year.
It's only week one. All right, so very quickly, let's remind everyone of the rules.
Douche.
All right. Of course, anybody listening to the audio version of this, you just heard clicking.
No, you're not gonna do that.
We'll post them up again on the Facebook page and the website. We'll post it again. But anyway,
yeah. All right. So the results of last week, as far as the points go, I have 9. Jonathan second with 8. Harry and the Coin have 4.
There you go. Harry and the Coin. Isn't that a movie?
Harry and the Coin. Yeah.
So this week we have each, as per the rules, chosen a game. The Coin always takes the Monday night game. John picks one. Harry picks one. I pick one. We pick against the spread, and then we also pick the over-under. So do you want me to just read you? The Coin has already flipped.
Yeah.
So
read us and we'll go through them pretty quick.
All right.
I'm not even going to think. I'm just going to pick.
So the 4 games are Tampa Bay at Houston, Chicago at Detroit, Washington at Green Bay, Denver at Indiana. The Coin has taken Tampa Bay and the under. Houston is a 2.5-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken Chicago and the over. Detroit is a 5.5-point favorite.
All right.
They've taken Washington over Green Bay. Green Bay is a 3.5-point favorite. They've taken Washington in the under. And they've taken Indy, who is plus 2.5, an underdog. And they've taken the under. So Tampa Bay under, Chicago over, Washington under, Indianapolis under. So let's start off with Tampa Bay at Houston.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Houston minus 2.5. And the over-under is 42.5. John, who do you like?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. And you want to go over or under?
I'm
42
going
and a half?
under.
Under. All right, John. I mean,
Tampa Bay and over. It's opposite.
Tampa Bay and over. All right, I am also taking Tampa Bay and over. So
Road
Chicago, the coin out on a limb with that. We're all, rather for the next game, we're all in lockstep over Tampa Bay here. John and the coin have the under. Harry and I have the over. All right, Chicago at Detroit. Detroit minus 5.5, and the over-under is 47.5. Harry, you get first pick at this one.
Detroit's favored by 5.5.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're at home.
I think, God, this is a tough one. Chicago just doesn't know how to close games.
Now, remember, if you pick Detroit and they win but don't cover, you get a point. If you pick Chicago and they lose but they cover, you still get a point.
I know. All right, I'm going to go with Detroit. And what's the over-under?
47.5.
Ooh, that's exactly what it should be.
There's a reason they have these.
I'm gonna go under.
Under. All right. John?
Same thing. Detroit and under.
Detroit and under. And I took the same thing. And
All right.
the coin took Chicago in the over.
Coin's gonna be way ahead.
Washington at Green Bay. Green Bay minus 3.5. The over under 48.5. I took Green Bay and the over. So, John?
Same thing. Green Bay and the over.
Green Bay and the over.
100%. Between those two teams, though, they're going to score more than 24.25 points apiece. And Green Bay's winning. So, yeah, there you go.
I'm going to I think Green Bay might win, but I don't think they'll come. I'm going to take the Commanders, and I'll go over as well.
Going the over. All right. The coin took Washington and the under. So, and last one is Denver at Indianapolis. The Colts plus 2.5. So they are an underdog at home, and the over under 42.5. Harry, let's start with you.
I'm going to ride Denver's defense and hope that they can clean up their passing routes. I'm going to take Denver. And what's the over under?
42.5.
I'm going to go under.
Under. I took Denver and the over. The coin took the Colts and the under. Johnny?
We're all going to be different. I'm taking the Colts and the over.
Indy over, Denver under, Denver. How about that? All right, well, somebody's going to be really right, and somebody's going to be really wrong.
And two people are going to be in the middle.
Two people are going to get a point.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. Those are our four games. Tampa at Houston, Chicago at Detroit, Washington at Green Bay, Denver at Indy. Just for the win, overall, of the four of us, we favor Tampa Bay, and we favor Detroit. The other two are split, 2-2. So
tough games. I like it. Tough games. Hard games to choose.
Yeah, that's when I think this system makes it a little more compelling when you have smaller point spreads too.
Oh yeah.
Because if you do want to take that underdog,
that 3.5 is a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So that is our football picks for week.
All right.
There you go.
I will say one thing before we wrap up football, and it might be the story of the week, and it obviously ruined my picks for the week. I may have been wrong on JJ McCarthy, and I'm going to admit it. That was impressive. First game as a starter, coming off an injury, on the road, down by what? 10, 12?
Looking terrible.
Looking horrible.
For a seriously decent percentage of the game. And then suddenly, boom. Yeah.
It also goes to show you, but can we do anything more annoying things on the show? If there's not cursors and people doing their taxes on the screen, then it's all good.
I just want a little bourbon. I just need a little bourbon.
Yeah, watch that bourbon right straight down.
Some good bourbon too. Little Michter's, Kentucky.
Oh, there you go. Brought to you by Michter's Bourbon.
All right.
Yeah.
well, listen,
Anyway, JJ McCarthy, impressive. Anyway, what else we got? I don't know. Is there anything else?
let's do a little over under because there's a little football involved in that as well.
All righty.
A little bit of over under.
Well, I've got no chance of losing this time.
All right,
Yeah.
over under. First up, we do have a football over under, but we have a little housekeeping to do because we talked earlier, many moons ago, about over under win totals for what appear to be our 4 favorite teams in the WNBA.
I think I got this right.
I think you did. It was ugly.
Yeah.
It was ugly. All right, so here's what we had. We had the Liberty at 29.5, the Lynx at 29.5, the Aces at 28.5, and the Fever at 25.5.
Yes.
So the Liberty's final record, they do have, I think, 1 or maybe 2 more games to go, but they're 26-17 right now, so they can't get to 29 wins, or not 30 wins. You guys took the over, I took the under, so I got 1 there.
All right.
Lynx was 29.5. They are the best team in the league at 33-10. John, you took the under. Harry and I took the over. The Aces was 28.5. They are currently 29-14. So I think there's 44 games in the season. So 1 more game for them. We all took the under. We all failed. Mm-hmm. And then the Fever, 25.5. They are done. They're 24-20. And we all took the over. And so we all failed at that as well.
I took the under.
I got
on
goose egg.
that. I got 1.
John did not get anything. Harry got 1, I got 2. So it was not good for us. But the Fever is not really fair because Clark was out for the majority of the season, and they lost Sophie Cunningham a couple weeks ago as well. So
A month ago.
yeah. So they were not really ever going to be in contention.
All right.
Well, I mean, even if they didn't get hurt and they weren't out and they actually did win, that would mean that instead of me having 0, Harry having 1, and Pete having 2, I would have 1, Harry would have 2, and Pete would have 3.
Yeah.
So
Be a
same
massacre.
thing.
A
Same
massacre.
result.
But the league would have Caitlin Clark.
But the key, yeah. And
So
Sophie
for
Cunningham.
the success of the over-under of the league this year, under.
All right. Next over under. This is the last one actually. And this is football related. We were kind of talking about Lamar Jackson before, so I had a question the other day that I was looking at some stats. The over under number of NFL quarterbacks who've rushed for 1,000 yards or more during the regular season, or during
NFL quarterback?
during a regular season. So, over under NFL quarterbacks who've rushed for 1,000 yards or more in a season, a regular season, but not including the playoffs.
Okay.
The over under is 2.5.
We talk it now. If somebody did it twice, does that count as 2 or 1?
It's the number of quarterbacks, so the number of
Quarterbacks.
People.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on this. 1,000 yards for a quarterback in a season is a lot.
It is a lot.
I'll go
Go ahead.
over.
You're gonna go over. Okay.
I'm going over.
All right. Jackson's done it, right?
I can't give you any hints.
Michael Vick did it. There's got to be at least one other person that has done it. But I can't think of who that is. And I'm thinking it's somebody probably recently. Jalen Hurts, maybe? Did he do it? Josh Allen? I'm going to go over, but I don't know who the third one is. Or fourth. Maybe there's 4. I don't know. I'm going to go over.
Don, you said over as well.
I did.
Well, you're both right. It has happened 4 times,
Okay.
but there's only 3 guys. So I'll read them to you, and I'll read the mystery man last. So Lamar Jackson, 2019, 1,206 yards. Michael Vick, 2006, 1,039 yards. Lamar Jackson 2020, 1,005 yards.
Right, he did sneak it over. That's right.
Yep. And Justin Fields 2022, 1,143 yards.
Really?
Yes.
Most of any of them.
1,143 yards.
Second place. Lamar had 1,206.
1,200,
Yeah.
1,206, yeah.
So that was his.
How did I knew it was. I knew. Yeah. That makes complete sense.
But you
I
wouldn't
knew
think.
it was somebody current.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't Dan Fouts.
The Bears were terrible. No, it wasn't Dan Fouts.
It was not Phil Simms.
No,
You know that. You know what I when
not
I
Terry Bradshaw.
like.
You know what? If I bet you, if you counted north and south,
Yeah, that's
Grant
just what I was gonna.
Tarkenton.
That's exactly
No,
what I was
left
gonna
and
say.
right.
If you,
Left and
because I
right.
was
You're
thinking
talking
of,
east and west.
I was
Grant
thinking.
Tarkenton.
Remember the
Yeah.
stat for in the Super Bowl, where Patrick Mahomes scrambled for like 418 yards or whatever the hell it was, and that's exactly the same thing I thought. If you counted running around like a nut job, Tarkenton might be in the 1,500.
You know, and I thought Mahomes might have been the third guy, but I don't think he ever got that close.
I don't know. I didn't look at the list. It just.
That's fine. We don't have to.
But yeah, so 4 times with 3 guys. Very good, you guys. Over under. I was gonna go. Now, do you think it would have been tougher if I'd gone 3.5?
Yeah, because I didn't think there was 4, but there was.
I thought there was 3 because we're talking about guys, not we're talking about quarterbacks, not times.
Yeah, because I couldn't
So there
decide
was
whether
only
to go.
3.
I would have went with the under
3
because
guys.
I was pretty sure it was 3.
Yeah, like 4
So-
would be a lot of guys who.
I thought it might have been Mahomes, and I thought maybe there was like, I don't know who else would have done it, but
Hey! We talked one quarterback we talked about a little early on the show was only 200 and something yards away from going 1,000 himself.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, yeah.
And if you counted the yards that he went into the turf, then it would have even been.
That's true too. Yeah.
All right. So
He added up
that
all his
is
sack
that is
yardage.
over under. Let me throw one more
Over,
thing at you
under,
quickly.
out. Yeah.
Football wise.
All right.
Um,
Football, you bet.
So Tom Brady is a part owner of the Raiders now,
We are aware. Yeah.
which I have a problem with him broadcasting games while he is a part owner of the
We know.
league.
Well,
You're
there's
kind
a
of
thing that
you're
we
kind of
can-
a puritist when it comes to rules.
Yeah,
and
I
regulations.
don't think those things. But it's gotten worse.
Mhm.
Or
He now
either
is
my,
part owner
either
of the
my
Nutz.
paranoia has gotten worse or the situation's gotten worse, or maybe both. But last season, Tom Brady was not allowed to attend Fox broadcast meetings with the coaches and players of the team that they were going to broadcast.
Correct.
Mhm.
He was not allowed to do that until the Super Bowl. They changed that rule, and this year he is. Now, the restriction last year was that we don't want him getting information from a team that maybe the Raiders are playing, and then he might run over and tell the Raiders what some of the coaches or players from the opposition said, which seems kind of ridiculous. But I don't think he would ever do that. There'd be no real reason for him to do that. But you just want to have
they're
that.
not going to give away too many secrets in
No,
those meetings
no,
anyway.
But you want to have that firewall. You don't want one of the owners of the team getting some information, especially Tom Brady, who you don't have to say, here's a trick play that we're definitely going to use. He could infer just from what was being said something about their strategy, whatever.
Right,
But
it's not just some random owner. It's somebody that
Right.
knows football inside and out.
Yeah, and even if it was just a random owner, that you have to have that. But not anymore. Now he can sit in on those meetings. And again, I don't think he's going to run to the Raiders brain trust and go, hey, I think they might punt on 3rd down, or something like that. But still, like these.
Wait, are we talking about the Giants here?
Well, maybe do the Raiders play the Giants this year?
Yes, they do.
Well, there you go. So we might, the Giants are going to be lousy.
I don't. Yeah. Oh my God! What shocking news!
They're going to wildcat with Jameis Winston,
Yeah.
But I think that
They're
safeguard ought to be.
going to line up. They're going to line up Wilson, Winston, and Dart on the same. Yeah.
They got a 3 quarterback, like
Set.
the Army, the option, right, with the 3
Right.
guys behind the center. So, but I just think that safeguard ought to be in place, and I don't know why they're. I mean, yes, you could say, oh, he's not going to run and tell him anything, but it's not the point. The point of the safeguard is not because you think someone is going to break that rule. The point of the safeguard is so that no one can break that rule.
Right.
And But whatever, he's Tom Brady, so he gets whatever he wants, I guess.
True.
So
This is very, very true.
I don't know if that's always true, but yeah, he's not as bad as LeBron James.
no, he's not. He's not. I mean, I know he did like the what was the golf thing where they had the pros and the amateur sports guys playing and stuff like that with Phil Mickelson or whatever. He was very personable there, and I've seen him in a couple of TV shows, and it seems
He's
like
he's a good announcer.
Yeah, and he's a very good announcer. He seems
I think
good guy.
I think he might be one of the best. Look, anything but Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, well,
Got
that's,
it.
you'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard than
Chris Collinsworth is, well, I agree with you. Chris Collinsworth is one person that exceeds Chris Collinsworth in that category for me.
Who's that?
That would be Joe Buck.
Joe Buck. Yeah.
I don't know why a lot of people feel the same way you do. A lot of people don't like Joe Buck. I don't.
If he ever look,
Joe Buck is not a play by. Well, he's not the
play-by-play man. He's
He's
not
the play-by-play guy. So
if he took a minute out of every game to get his head out of Troy Aikman's ass, then I might feel differently.
but I like Aikman. Now
I didn't say no.
Yeah.
I like Aikman too.
Yeah.
I can't stand Joe Buck's head being up Troy Aikman's ass every game.
Wow, maybe his voice would change.
There you go.
Maybe that's part of his contract too.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Al Michaels' voice. It's sort of nostalgic,
Of course.
but I don't know. I'm done with Collinsworth and Michaels. Although, be careful what you wish for. You'll get
Collinsworth.
You'll get Cam Newton. I know they're not, but they were for years. You get Cam Newton and Booger McFarland.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Don't give me
Although Booger is not the worst anymore. At least he knows a thing or two.
When he was doing Monday Night
He
Football,
does.
he was on that.
Remember when they had him outside in the stands?
back and forth? And, oh my God!
Booger's in the bathroom.
Stop.
Find Booger.
Let me speaking since we're talking about announcers and stuff. I've said this before. I love Bob Wischusen when he's on the radio,
Sure.
not doing a
Which
game.
is great.
I think he's great. I love listening to him. I can't stand to listen to him scream when he's doing the Jets games. I mean, he is literally, I'm not even going to try, yelling at the top of his voice.
I agree with you. That would be what I would be if I was doing the Giant games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, only he does it without the profanity. All right, let me throw
There's
one
some limitations for
and the
everybody.
emojis.
Come on.
And let me throw
I
one.
just put up commentating, but throwing emojis up on the
Yeah.
screen too.
Yeah, you'd have the telecaster where you draw the emojis.
I
like
draw
Mad
the
Max.
emoji, right?
Let me throw one college football thing at you.
Go ahead.
See if you agree. With Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning. This happened a while ago. He suggested starting the college football season 1 week earlier and starting the playoffs at the beginning of December. The reasoning is because the Ducks had a 25-day layoff in between games, in between the end of the regular season and the playoffs, in part because they had a bye, but also because of the scheduling and stuff. He says it's just too long. Now,
Yeah.
Oregon lost, and I agree with him, lost. And
The other
let me just say
option is
this.
just shrink the amount of time between the bowl games.
Right. But Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, Arizona State, name the two things they had in common last year.
They all had too much time off.
They all had a bye, and they all lost
Mhm.
first round. So
Yep.
he might be onto something there.
Get rid of the bye.
I agree with that. I agree.
I would say
either
that.
get rid of the bye or do what he's saying. And you know what? I mean, some of the SEC teams start a week before the rest of the league anyway. So I'm assuming what he's saying is everybody's starting the same time as those
starts
SEC.
Yeah, but
teams.
the gap between the end of the season and when who knows when it actually ends and the whole playoff
We'll
deal
just move
now.
everything back. You don't have to have the national
Well, what I'm
championship
saying
game
is
in
just
the middle of
cut
January.
I don't need all that time. I
All right,
don't
well, that's
need
what
all
he's
the-
saying.
Yeah.
If you move everything, start a week earlier, you'll be done by
I agree.
the
and
beginning of
there
December.
shouldn't be 2 weeks between the championship games and the Super Bowl. Move it up.
No.
I agree.
Move it the fuck up.
I agree.
Well, it used to be that way.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we had a little thing called the Pro Bowl.
Well, that was the Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl.
Look, just get rid of the Pro Bowl. Just have
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, that's
have
right.
it.
No, I had it backwards. Yeah, so just get rid of the Pro Bowl. You're right. It started in between, or started after. Yeah.
Well, it was just.
You want a
another, like,
vacation to Hawaii? Just go to Hawaii.
Exactly.
Yeah, so these guys definitely have enough money. So. Anyway, that's all I got for football there.
All right.
All I got for football too.
We do have a little Are They For Real? If you want to.
Let's do an Are They For Real? Let's do it.
Want to do a little Are They For Real?
Do it.
It's like, let's.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah. What is real?
All right, let's fly through this. Little housekeeping. We talked about baseball teams, and we had 4 teams that we talked about. Will they be in contention, reasonable playoff contention on September 1st? And by that we meant 2 to 3 games out of the wild card. So I went back now because obviously September 1st is past, and I looked at where they were in the wild card races. And so here we go. First up, we have the Tampa Bay Rays, who on September 1st were 4.5 back. So we all chose them to be in contention within 2 or 3 games. Fail. The Angels.
Pretty close, though.
Pretty close. Well, yeah, a game and a half at best, or at least. Angels were 8.5 back. We all said no, and
We were right on that.
Yeah, we were right on that. Cardinals, we all said no, and we were right on that. They were September 1st. They were 6.5 back. And we also looked at the San Francisco Giants, and we said, yeah, they're going to be there. September 1st.
Yeah, they're 2.5 games back.
No, September 1st. They were
whatever.
They were 5 games back.
They're 2.5 games back. That's a win.
Yes, they have. Well, you know what? That's a half. We'll go half. So the Rays, as of today, were 4.5. The Angels 9. So they actually got half a game further. Cardinals picked up 2. They were 4.5 out. And the Giants picked up 3.
Giants are the only ones that are in contention for that.
That are right by that standard at this point, but they were not. So, so we were wrong on the Rays, right on the Angels and Cardinals, and a half for the Giants. So
we all got 2.5.
Yeah. All right. Quickly, is he for real? Should we be adding Kyle Schwarber to the National League MVP race candidates?
It pains me to say it, but yeah.
Probably should, right?
Yeah.
Guy's tearing it up. Harry's asleep.
I don't think he'll get it, but he should be in contention.
Yeah. Harry, what do you think? Yeah, he deserves to be in the conversation. All right. This one's pretty easy. Will Mike Trout, he's got 398 home runs. Will he get to 400 this season?
Yes.
Don't care.
I'm going to say yes, I don't care. I agree with both of you. All right.
I agree with him too. So we're all three of us are in.
So we all
in
say yes, and nobody cares.
But we don't give a shit.
All right. Alabama football coach Kalen DeBoer.
Horrible.
Will he make it? Who? Will he make it?
Will he make it to be the
I'm
Giants?
laughing, and I don't know what you said twice.
Will he be picked as as Dable's replacement?
Will he replace Dable? Will he make it through the season?
Did you just say will he be picked as Dable's replacement with the Jets?
I said Giants.
We want to make it extra special. So yeah,
Exactly.
It'll be Dable's
You don't know
replacement
what's
with the
going to
Jets.
happen, right?
Will he win the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Bengals?
He may not even beat Alabama State.
He will not make it through the season.
Regardless of record, you don't think he'll make it through.
No, he will not make
So
it.
in other words, you don't think he's going to do very well.
I think he will make it through the season only because of the contract that he's got.
All right. Well, talk is that the boosters are making a lot of phone calls and trying to raise some money for the buyout. But look, they got beat by Florida State week 1. They did trounce University of Louisiana at Monroe. That football power trounced them 73-0 this week.
That's a typewriter score.
Hey, Monroe is.
But
you know,
he was 9-3 last year, 5-3 in conference, and then lost to Michigan in the ReliaQuest Bowl. So he's on thin ice,
shouldn't have been
obviously.
this year.
Yeah. Although, look, this is what happens when you follow a legend, right? You're going to follow Saban, you got to be better, and he is.
Here's the thing. I think if they're gonna get somebody else in there, they're not gonna want to do it mid-season. Now, there might be an interim coach that's already on the staff or something.
It would be an interim coach. They wouldn't hire anybody. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I think, and what Pete said is the reason that I said what I said. I think there's going to be enough donors and enough people with the boosters calling up people for the buyout. He's going to be out of there. They're going to put an interim coach
It's sad
in
that they can rally to get money for that.
But where are they going? They're not going anywhere.
Their state is last in education.
Well, but they're not even first in football anymore.
You know how remember how I said I don't care about Mike Trout?
Yeah,
I
care about
compared to this.
Care less. About
I care a lot.
I find this interesting because it's Alabama and that history and all that stuff. So I feel bad for this guy, but you gotta be better than that. You gotta be better. All right, so that is Are They For Real? Do we have any hot takes or quickies or questions of the day?
I got a hot out.
You got a hot out.
Hot out.
Go team, go. If you got any hot takes, if you could do it in 3 seconds, that's great. And then I'll head out.
No hot takes today. I got a big one for 2 weeks from today. But
no hot takes. No quickies. No quickies. No questions of the day.
No, we're good.
All right. I do have, in case you missed it, but Harry, you're never going to make it through that.
All right. You have what you missed?
Yeah, what you missed.
All right. I'll try to sign off here, and you guys can roll with the rest of the show.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, Harry.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm going to have at least one win this week. We'll see.
All right. Listen, it's still it's only a 4-point difference. It's nothing. You can make that up in one game. You
can make up that easily in 1 week. Absolutely.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
You got it. All right.
There he goes. All right.
In case you missed it.
Here's what you missed. If you missed it, we'll tell you all about it. In case you missed it.
All right. So obviously our last show was a couple of weeks ago. So there's some stuff that happened in between then and now. And actually, I think I have one thing that happened before our last show, but it was the big football show, so we didn't get to it. But so in case you missed it, if you were living under a rock, or if some insane reason, maybe you're locked up in an asylum and this is the only thing you get to see or hear,
exactly,
and this is the extent of your sports news, you might have missed a few things. So let's start off with the U.S. Open. There's your winner and runner-up, Arna Sabalenka, the winner, and Amanda Anisimova, the
Are they related?
No.
They look like they could be.
They could be. Listen, this was a great story because Anisimova got double bageled at Wimbledon in the final by Iga Swiatek. And to come back from that and go to the finals and lose, no shame in losing to Sabalenka. She's the number one player in the world. She's the most powerful player in women's tennis right now, and she wins a lot. But to go from double bagel in the final, and I think she had maybe beaten Sabalenka in the semis, and the proverbial left it all on the court. So to come back and get to the final of the U.S. Open, even though she didn't win, that is, I believe they said on PTI, that is the epitome of resilience. So congratulations to them both. As for the men, that fellow there, Alcaraz with the semi-shaved head, or with the short haircut, your winner, Jannik Sinner, the second place. We talked about this in the past, about how these two guys, along with Novak Djokovic, have won every major since like the middle of 2022. I think it's 13 or 14 straight. These two guys have won the last 8 majors. That is 2 times through the Grand Slam. And they're both great players. It's really great tennis, but we need a third guy.
We do.
We need a third guy, right? We had Borg and McEnroe and Lendl, and you had Connors there, and you had just, other players that were in contention, right? And you had Sampras and Andy Roddick and
Agassi,
Agassi and Jim Courier and Max Wilander, and guys that in any tournament you could say, well, here's a group of guys that could realistically win it. right?
We need a third guy.
They're still favorite. Yeah, we need a third guy. And I'm afraid Djokovic, the longer it goes, he's really not that third guy anymore. He still could win.
Sure.
And there's a bunch of second-tier guys, Taylor Fritz and Blake Shelton, and the Canadian guy who lost to Sinner in the semis with the long hyphenated name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
Try.
Auger Aliassime, something like that.
Close enough. I would have been worse.
Auger Aliassime, maybe it's got a French accent. Aliassime.
Auger Aliassime. Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that. It's Canadian. Good. Yeah, you got Tiafo and anyway, a bunch of second-tier guys, and then you got maybe Medvedev and Rublev, sort of just a step below them or right in that same pack. But when you go into the tournaments, these two guys are in it. You go, well, they're the prohibitive favorites, right? It's prohibitive favorites now. So, but congratulations to Alcaraz. And he did beat one Novak Djokovic in the semis.
Djokovic, he did.
But Djokovic beat Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinals. And getting to that semifinal in the U.S. Open is the 16th time he's gotten to the U.S. Open semifinal. And that ties a record in the Open era with Jimmy Connors. Sorry, not 16, 14. So Jimmy Connors and Novak Djokovic 14 times to the U.S. Open semis. So congratulations to him. Non-tennis now. This was opening week of the college football season. September 1st, TCU beating up on Bill Belichick's North Carolina Tar Heels.
48-14. The horned frogs of TCU are such a football powerhouse.
Well, listen, they've been good. They're still bitter about the championship game a couple of years ago, where they got thwonked, I think.
They did get thwonked.
Yeah. The reason, what was it, 55?
How do you spell thwonked, actually? With an F.
T and an F, yeah.
Right.
The reason I put this in there is this is the worst beating a Bill Belichick head coach team has ever taken in his career.
Have you gone back? Did you go back and look at all of the Cleveland Browns games that he coached?
No, but I saw the stat and I believe it.
You're probably right.
So I don't think it was that he never gave up 48 points before, or maybe that was it. Maybe he never gave up 48 points before.
Fair enough.
But anyway, it was some sort of thing that had never happened to him in a bad way. So, next up, we have the Golden State Valkyries of the WNBA, who set an expansion team record for wins this season. This actually happened on August 15th. At that time, the record was 18, and I think they have 23 wins at this point, 22 or 23, and I think they have one game left, so they have increased that record ever since. Don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. They might, but not bad. First-year team. It's sort of the Vegas Knights, right, of the WNBA, right?
Yep.
Although I don't know if it was their first season they made the playoffs, or they win the cup, or maybe it was the second season.
Second season, I think.
Second. Anyway, but they were good pretty much right out of the gate, I think. And then, unfortunately, a bit of sad news here. One of the all-time, if not maybe the all-time great hockey goalie, Ken Dryden of the Canadiens, passed away. 82. 7 years with the Canadiens, technically 8 seasons, but he only played about 6 games in his rookie year in 1970. 7 years, 6 Stanley Cups. Didn't get there 6 times, won it 6 times.
Cups.
Yeah. And he has tons of other accolades. And I don't know, would you say he's the greatest NHL goalie ever? Would you say he's maybe the
He's in the running? I wouldn't say he is the top one, but I would say he's definitely in the top 5, 3 even. So
I did hear someone say most accomplished.
Oh, I would give him that. Yeah.
Which I think is probably pretty accurate, because you go 6 for 7 winning the cup.
Right.
That's pretty good. And then finally, unfortunately, another sad note: Davy Johnson passing away at
just yesterday or Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday. we all know about his connection to the Mets, both with the Orioles and the '69 series, where he did what, John?
He popped out to Cleon Jones flew out to Cleon Jones to end the series and the Mets win.
Yep.
So he was heavily involved in both of those wins.
So he did that in '69, and then of course managed the Mets to the '86 World Championship. Couple other things. He had 5 stints as a manager.
He did.
He's
He's a great manager.
Mets.
People say that Terry Collins was probably pound for pound the Mets' best manager. I don't care. Mets' longest tenured manager for certain. But Davey Johnson, all in all, and I take nothing away from Gil Hodges. Davey Johnson, on my book, was the
best.
Was the best.
Well, here's some interesting
Gil Hodges, a close second for me. A close second on that level for,
your personal favorites.
Right. But yeah,
New York
Davey
Mets
Johnson.
7 years, Cincinnati Reds 3 years, Orioles 2 years, Dodgers 2 years, Washington Nationals 3 years, 17 seasons as a manager all told. 1,372 wins, 1,071 losses, a .562 winning percentage. He had a winning percentage with every team that he managed.
He did.
And the Dodgers, he went, what did he do with the Dodgers? He went like 2 games over 500 with the Dodgers. Yeah. 163 and 161 in 2 years with the Dodgers. But that's still over 500. 588 with the Mets. That's pretty impressive.
It is very impressive.
543 with the Reds, 574 with the Orioles, 503 with the Dodgers, and 550 with the Washington Nationals between 2011 and 2013. So impressive, to say the least, about Davey Johnson. By the way, if you look at managers who have between like 2,000 and 3,000 games under their belt, or upwards, all the way up to the guys who managed, 5,000 games, he's 10th by win percentage on that list all time. He's 33rd in wins and 19th in losses, from going, fewest to most for the losses. So he was a hell of a manager, and not just for the Mets in 1986. And a pretty decent player, very smart player.
Great player for the Orioles. Fantastic.
Yeah, great player for the Orioles. And as a manager, one of the first guys to ever embrace the use of getting numbers from a computer, not to set the lineup, not the current sabermetrics that we might use or whatever. What is it, sabermetrics? Or is that something?
Sabermetrics. Yeah, you're right. Sabermetrics.
But he did look at batting averages, and he told a story about, I guess he was an assistant with the Orioles, and he once took some numbers, and he took the sheet of paper to Earl Weaver and said, listen, we can move some of these guys around just a little bit and probably score 30 or 40 more runs a year. And I said Earl Weaver crumpled it up and threw it in the paper in the garbage can.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. But Davey Johnson was one of the first guys to at least look and say, well, here's some numbers, how can I use them? Even if he wasn't using them to make decisions about the lineup or anything like that. But he was using those numbers to try and find an edge. So Davey Johnson unfortunately passed away. And that is what you might have missed
In case you missed
if you
it. Yeah.
only watch and or listen to this program. So
And don't get us wrong. We hope you don't only watch this program.
No.
But if you do, we cover the bases for you, just in case.
Yeah. Well, listen, try and, we don't have time on this program, even if we wanted to cover everything that we want to cover.
Everything.
Right? I would love to.
We would be doing a 4-hour podcast twice a week if we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I would love to spend a lot of time talking about tennis. I would love to spend, if we were going to spend more time talking about hockey, I would actually try and learn something about hockey to do that. I would be dedicated.
Maybe we'll do a little bit more hockey this year than we normally do. We'll see.
Yeah.
When I say a little bit more, I mean a little bit more than we normally do.
Yeah, like 12 or 13
minutes total, cumulative.
Yeah, instead of like 6.
Right.
But like I said, we don't cover everything. So I'd like to do a little catch up for you just in case.
There you go.
And that is about it for me. I don't have anything
about
else. You got anything else?
I don't have anything else. I did want to say this, show this though. So we were talking about Mike Trout before.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a place in Mike Trout's from Millville, New Jersey. Grew up a Phillies fan.
Oh, we just lost your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Mike Trout say, I have it. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me now, right?
I can. I couldn't before, though. That was weird.
It's weird, right? But Mike Trout's from Millville, New Jersey. He's grew up a Phillies fan, but way down south in Cumberland County, Millville.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and there's this place in Millville called Jim's Lunch. Okay, and these are the burgers at Jim's Lunch, right there. They're on a longer like a club roll, and the burgers are a little club looking, and there's a gravy on them and the onions. I've been there. I've had it. It's actually very, very good. And anytime, allegedly, I haven't. I've been there twice, and both times I've been there, he wasn't right. But so supposedly, whenever he does come home, if you will, for a visit to town, he does go to Jim's Lunch. He loves eating those burgers at Jim's Lunch. So I just wanted. We were talking about Mike Trout before, and Harry said what he said. So I just, for some reason, I got to be in my bonnet. I wanted to pull that up. So.
Well, listen, a couple of weeks, you go stake the place out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not going to the postseason, so he might return home.
This is very true. This is very true.
Come home during the warm Jersey weather and head over for, what's the name of the place?
Jim's Lunch.
Jim's Lunch. All right.
Jim's Lunch, right in Millville, right? Centertown, right?
You know, one of these days, maybe if we can coordinate schedules, I'll come to Jersey and you can take me to some of the hot spots.
We can do that. You
know,
I'm fine with that. Drive around the state. We'll hit up a couple places. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right.
All right.
So that's pretty good. We got a lot done in an hour and 16 minutes.
We got a lot covered in an hour and 16 minutes. We covered more tonight than we normally do in longer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, you know, we didn't get too bogged down in football.
That's true. Because we had Harry going like this.
Nary a mention of 1980s New York Football Giants linebackers.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there. We'll talk about that later on in the season. I'd like to bring back some of the, and not to dwell on them and not to have long segments, but some of the stuff we did, because we're approaching our 5th anniversary, and then we're going to enter our 6th year of doing this, right? And this is certainly our 6th year of doing the Beaten by the Coin segment too, and any segment that we do for football, that is. But some of the stuff we did early on was kind of cool. I'd like to occasionally bring back an Old Balls. They were fun.
Yeah, that was a nice segment.
Maybe we'll hit on it every so often. We'll hit on one of these old segments that we used to do. I think that would be kind of cool. And just keep it short though. Just a quick hit, you know, and not every show too. Just once and then not again for a while. I think it'd be cool to do. Especially at least one of them. We'll pick an old segment that we used to do, and on the 5th anniversary show, which is actually the next show. It will be the 5th anniversary show. We'll do one of those segments, whether it's Old Balls or something like that. You know,
yeah. I think we should do an Old Balls, and maybe one of the Four Gotta Stay.
We could do that. Yeah, we'll come up with that.
Can we put that under like question of the day?
We could do that under question of the day. We'll do that as
a question of the day. Yeah, we'll make it a multiple parter. Because that was always a pretty good. That was always
pretty good. 4 gotta stay, 2 gotta go. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so let's remember that for 2 weeks. Old Balls.
Old Balls and 4 gotta stay.
Question of the day, 4 gotta stay. Oh, it even rhymes.
Question of the day, 4 gotta stay. I love it.
There we go. That's how we'll remember it.
All right.
All right. So until then, for Harry Lugnutz, I'll say goodbye, everybody.
There you go.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the live show. You're all rock stars in your own way. Visit our website at getonwithitpodcast.com. Once again, that's getonwithitpodcast.com. Like and follow us on all our social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The live video podcast is on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch every other Wednesday at around 7:30 Eastern Time. Go to the Logger Room channel on YouTube and click the live tab to reach the show archive. You can find the audio podcast on our host Spreaker or your favorite audio platform. Quit your dilly-dallying and subscribe so you'll never miss a show. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great week and watch lots of sports. For the boys, this is Harry Hansen saying ciao for now.